Hi, Internet friends. It's Tim Schrock at Design Build Solutions. I responded to a comment on Facebook from a new user asking about terrain and elevations. This user had created a simple deck, and so I'm going to kind of mimic what's going on, what I see is going on with decks and terrains and such as that. And so as I'm talking, I'm just going to create quickly a model to mimic what's happening. So I've got a room, I've got a house, I've got a deck here. And what I propose with most new people learning terrain is your first floor is generally set at elevation 0. That is right here. Your subfloor is at elevation 0. Now you may have changed this, I don't know, but by default, that's where it typically starts out with from most templates. That's where my template, I've created my template. So that's first floor. I went into the deck, whoops, wrong thing selected. I went into the deck and made that deck floor, the deck boards are -6 in relation to 0, which this floor is at 0 as well. So this deck is a 6-inch step down. Now when I open this terrain, it gives automatic. Auto rebuild terrain is fine. The subfloor height above terrain is automatic. This is the only place in Chief Architect where a positive number actually means down in the Z delta, down toward the ground or toward the basement, if you will. If you read this carefully, it's the subfloor height above the terrain. It's confusing because you're not actually changing the subfloor. You're changing the terrain. So why is it saying subfloor height above terrain? Anyway, confusing, right? Let's go into here and just do -10. And I've never done this experiment. I want to take this section. So it's not actually subfloor height. When you change this, when you change this number here, subfloor height above terrain, it's not really the subfloor height. It's really the terrain elevation in relation to Chief Architect's 0 point. The subfloor could be set at anything that's not 0. So even though this says 10 by automatic, if I set my subfloor to -10, then these are flush, actually. So anyway, a small little observation, but I digress. So when dealing with terrain, here's what I recommend. Go into your terrain, uncheck automatic, and make that 0. The calculations are so much easier. In this case, the Facebook user said that Crystal, I believe is her name. Yes, Crystal said that she wanted the terrain 36 inches below the deck. Well, this deck, I did it again, this deck is at -6. So 36 below -6 is actually -42. So I'm going to do a terrain elevation line right out here. And I'm going to open that and do -42. You'll notice because I have one line giving one datum point of -42, the whole terrain goes down to -42. Well, let's say in the front of the house, I wanted this actually to be -24. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's take a rendering of this and see what it's doing. Interesting. That's not quite what we wanted, but let's turn off this elevation section, and I'm going to go back and shift F6 to split these. And what you can do is change the length of these elevation lines to adjust. Look at that. Now these lines are just evenly sloping from from minus 24 to minus 36. That's the two lines that it has to figure out the slope of this terrain. So it just says, hey, I've got 2 points. I'm going to interpolate then between these 2 points. It's giving you a straight line slope right there. Okay, so maybe you want to not have minus 24 in front as a line. Maybe you want a region up front because the whole front yard is flat. So I'm going to select make a region and give that minus 24. There you go. So I've got a flat yard, and then it interpolates down to minus 36 somewhere right in here, because that's where that datum point is, but it's going to continue on minus 36 sloping down here. And maybe you know that right here it's at minus 48. So it does a steep slope and then kind of shallows out back to here, right? So we'll do a line back here. And you'll notice Chief is automatically creating a number. I don't know exactly where it gets that number from. I'm guessing it's along with the roofs, wherever you start clicking on the number, because remember it said minus 46. So this would be minus 60. This is minus 48. So minus 46 wouldn't make sense. Minus 46 would be up here. I don't know. That's crazy, right? Anyway, we'll draw a line there and say this is minus 48. So you can see in the 3D, we've got flat at minus 24. It slopes pretty aggressively, a 1 foot drop here, and then it goes another foot from here to here. So 1, 2, and 3 are my points of elevation. 1, 2, and 3. Here's minus 24. I can't draw very well. Here's minus 36. And here's minus 48. So you can see how this is flat. We've got a short distance for that 12 feet and then a longer distance for the next 12, not 12 feet, 12 inches. All right. I hope that helps. Take care.